Just weeks before Christmas, all through the room, Judy was moving. She was to speak soon. But by the tables filled with good food, people were stirring. While listening, they should. They were not nestled snug in their seats. They were talking and walking in spite of her pleas. Fred with some drinks and also Keith Spriggs were back in the food line, forming some cliques.
Then out in the back with such noisy clatter, Candy and Mike jumped to see what's the matter. They jumped over chairs to the front of the class, but Felicia and Michael were too friendly to pass. They started to talk with Lee and Jeanette. Also Amber, Donna, and Fred joined the chat. As in all of our wondering eyes did appear, Charles with his Shelby, she is such a dear.
The clatter they heard wasn't the sound of strife, 'twas the sound of a happy class that's alive. For there in the front of the class, not a shout, but Betty and Char were laughing out loud. While moving so quietly and also so slow were Bert and Marie. We do love them so. More rapid than Lynn, with fury he came. Ron called out each one, he knew them by name.
Now Mike and Roberta, now Vicky and Lee. Come Barbara and Cassie, come Ginny and Chuck. Sit down in your seat. Be quiet ye all, be quiet, sit down. On you do I call.
So Keith left the table with food in his mouth. Crystal watched him, still as a mouse. In a fast twinkling, Ron made a pass to move himself quickly to the front of the class.
Dana Sue also was looking around. Watching Frida, she sat down with a bound. Mouths full of food and shuffling each chair, the class finally settled like a breath of fresh air.
Announcements and jokes. The class now began. Judy gave the word as only she can. Her hair was flung, and with cheeks like a cherry, the words she presented made all of us merry. Keith at last had his mouth all clear to pray for each one. The time was so near. And Ken was happy. God heard his prayer. Yes, everyone knows our God's always there.
Even in trials and times of great need, we go to the Father. He hears us indeed. We have learned to love the best way we can as we live out the wisdom of God's great plan. Again we are blessed. It was such a treat to meet everyone in fellowship sweet. Now we go home, and out of each sight we say Merry Christmas, and to all a good night.